We're in Knoxville, Tennessee to cook for as many people as possible and give it all away for free. Neyland Stadium has a capacity of 101,915 people, so we're cooking until we run out of food. We have steak, chicken, pig shots, and ribs that are more tender than a mother's love.
Top tailgate cook right here.
We also set out to see if anyone actually knows how to pronounce this.
Worcestershire Sauce.
That's absolutely correct. This is the Tailgate Tour, presented by Grillgrate. All right, so it's time to start prepping the food. We're gonna start with these ribs. We've got 5 racks of St. Louis style ribs. You can use baby backs, you can use regular spare ribs. I like the St. Louis cut. Let's go ahead and get them trimmed up and rubbed down so we can get them on the smoker. The first thing I'm gonna do is remove the membrane on the back of the ribs. Simply run a knife between a bone and the membrane to gently lift it up and create a gap. Then use a paper towel to grab it at that gap and pull it right off. So now before we go and we actually put the rub on this, we're gonna use a binder so that the rub sticks. And we're gonna go with mustard. You don't taste any mustard, but it helps the rub adhere to it, and it also keeps Lane Kiffin away. Put a tablespoon or 2 of mustard on the ribs and use your dirty hand to cover the rack of ribs. Then we're gonna liberally cover the entire rack with our Crove pork rub. Make sure it's all covered and be sure to season the back of it as well. All of our rubs can be found at crovefood.com along with all of these recipes. All right, let's get started on these ribs. First thing first, we're cooking them on the Traeger here. So we've got the Cowboy pellets. We're going with the Cowboys charcoal and applewood pellets here. And fill this hopper full. Now, we're doing these at 250 today. I typically go anywhere between 225 and 250, but I'm wanting this to cook a little bit faster. The last thing I want is for people to get here and not have any food to eat. So we're gonna cook it a little bit quicker than normal. We're gonna get this thing started and get these ribs put on. Try to arrange it so that everything fits comfortably on the smoker without overcrowding it too much. Every 30 minutes, we're gonna spray the ribs with apple juice to keep them moist during the cook. All right, it's been about 2.5, 3 hours now. These ribs are looking really good. As you can see, they got that really dark mahogany color we're looking for. So now it's time to wrap it. For the wrap, we're gonna lay out 2 sheets of aluminum foil and add about 5 tablespoons of butter, some brown sugar, and some honey. Place 1 rack with the meat side down on the aluminum foil. Then spray the back side with apple juice and add another drizzle of honey. Wrap them up really tight and throw them back in the smoker for about another 1.5 to 2 hours. After the wrap period, we're going to remove them from the foil, but save that liquid. I use this as a glaze by mixing up some of that pork rub with those juices and drenching the ribs in the glaze. Do this and let it set for about 15 to 20 more minutes on the smoker before carefully removing the ribs and transferring it to a cutting board. To slice it, I recommend laying them upside down so that you can easily see the bone and get even slices. Slice them up, finish with a sprinkle of that pork rub, and admire just how juicy the ribs are. Of course, you could eat the ribs if you want to, but we decided to give them all away. And if you think that went over well, check out these pig shots. Pig shots could be the ultimate game day appetizer. They're becoming really popular and for good reason. Start by slicing some smoked sausage into bite-sized coins. Then we're going to take a block of softened cream cheese and add it to a Ziploc bag along with some cheddar cheese and our fajita rub. This is going to add a little bit of spice to the dish. Next, let's cut our bacon in half. This is the perfect size to wrap around the sausage. Once you've wrapped it, stick a toothpick in it to hold it together. You should have a little area at the top for our filling, kind of like a shot glass, hence the name pig shots. Go ahead and mix up your filling really well and cut the edge of that Ziploc bag to make a piping bag. Then simply squeeze some of the filling into each of the pig shots. Then we're going to sprinkle some of our pork rub on top, which adds a sweet to balance out the heat. Throw it in a 350-degree smoker for about an hour or until the bacon is completely cooked. Then we like to drizzle just a little bit of maple syrup on each one of them and let it sit for about 10 to 15 more minutes in the smoker. These are amazing. Don't believe me?
This is amazing.
Please, tell me what's your favorite.
The big shot.
Everyone was begging for the recipe and it certainly deserved a chef's kiss. But so did the chicken. Chicken thighs are a great and cheap way to feed a lot of people. They're even better when you soak them in Allegro for a few hours. So we put some boneless, skinless chicken thighs in Allegro's black pepper marinade for about 3 hours. Then we sealed them up and stuck them in the Orca cooler with some ice to keep them at a safe temperature while it was marinating. Then once we're ready to grill, we simply fired up the Cowboy charcoal briquettes and set up our grill grates. All right, so we've got this chicken that's been marinated in this Allegro. We're gonna put it right on top of these grill grates. The grill grates give a perfect sear, so we had to use them. We laid them out, hit each piece with our poultry rub. Then we turned them 90 degrees after about 3 minutes to give us those diamond marks we really want to see. After a few more minutes, we flipped them over and repeated the process until they were completely cooked and reached 165 degrees internal. These were sliced up into bite-sized pieces and just simply enjoyed by themselves, but this would be so good on a sandwich, salad, or anything that calls for grilled chicken. Last thing we're cooking today, the last thing we got to get prepped up are these New York strips. We put the New York strips in a Ziploc bag and soaked them in Allegro original marinade for about 45 to 60 minutes. We actually used the same batch of cowboy charcoal briquettes for this cook as we did for the chicken. We just cleaned everything really well, but they burned so long that we were able to use the same batch of coals for 2 different cooks. When we were ready, we just placed the steaks on the grill grates at a 45-degree angle. We dusted each steak with the Crove beef rub and cooked it for about 90 seconds. And then we turned it 90 degrees and cooked for another 90 seconds before flipping it over. And that's how you get a beautiful steak like this. You just can't get that clean of a sear mark with anything but grill grates. After we turned it 90 degrees on this side, we started basting it with melted butter and a rosemary brush. This adds an extra layer of flavor and richness that pairs perfectly with steak. After that, simply remove it and let it rest for about 10 minutes before slicing into bite-sized pieces and seeing just how fast a group of people can demolish this much steak.
The steak is so good. And it's cooked perfectly. The steak is good.
This is amazing.
Please, tell me what's your favorite.
This
The
right
big shot.
here, the big shot.
The
Pig
steak.
shot. Steak.
The steak is good.
This stuff right here, this shit busting right here. All right,
Busting.
hey, top cook in Knoxville right now. Top tailgate cook right here, tap in.
You heard it here first, folks. Busting indeed.
That's pretty terrible, man. All jokes aside, that's really good.
Is it good?
That's tasty.
Do you think I should take some of those college bros on the front porch here in a minute? Take a plate full of food?
They probably love it.
Hey, y'all hungry? We're over there at that trailer cooking, and we're like, we got to bring these guys some food. We got a little YouTube channel here. We're trying to grow it, so we're cooking for free.
Smelling it all day.
Yeah, y'all take this whole thing, man.
Are you serious?
Eat on it, yeah. All you gotta do is subscribe to Crow Food Company on YouTube.
Right
We'll
now.
do it right now. We'll do it right now.
That's what I like to hear.
Hold up.
Enjoy, enjoy.
Yeah, brother.
Now it's time for everybody's favorite segment. How do you pronounce that? How do you pronounce that?
Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire.
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 Sauce.
No, the big word.
Worcestershire. Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
No!
How do you say it?
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire?
Worcestershire.
Are you sure?
Worcestershire sauce.
That's absolutely correct. Well, that certainly narrows it down. The first stop on the tailgate tour was a major success. Thanks to everyone who stopped by, and check out crowfood.com to visit the full schedule, find these recipes, our new rubs, and much more. Thank you so much to our sponsors, Grill Grates, Allegro Marinade, Orchid Coolers, the Tennessee River Jam, and Cowboy Charcoal. This tour would not be possible without your support. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next stop of the Tailgate Tour.